don't forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
And new at 11, the FBI tonight joining the fight against murderous gangbangers on Long Island. The latest victims, 4 young people savagely beaten and killed at a children's playground.
Prosecutors say in 2017, Leniez Escobar lured 5 young men into a wooded area where they were ambushed by MS-13 gang members.
Today, the only victim who managed to escape testified about the horror that unfolded that night.
4 bodies of men have been found in a park in central Islip. Suffolk County Police say they all appear to be homicide victims. Let's go to Liz Dahlem. She is at the scene with more. Liz.
Good morning to you, Greg and Rosanna. You can see the 2 Suffolk County police cars right behind me. They are blocking the entrance to this rec center where there's a noticeable crime scene set up here right behind this football field. And that wooded area is where it's believed that these bodies were dumped. We do not know the ages and names of the victims or exactly how they died, but police are looking into whether or not this is at all related to a series of killings that have been carried out by the notorious MS-13 gang. The bodies of 4 men were found near the intersection of Lowell Avenue and Clayton Street in central Islip. Suffolk County Police say all of them suffered significant trauma and appear to be homicide victims. The Assistant Police Commissioner believes the killings happened recently but could not say how the victims died. The crime scene is close to the Central Islip Recreation Center, which is now blocked off with crime scene tape and police officers. The discovery of the bodies comes just 1 month after 8 MS-13 gang members were arrested for the September killings of 2 teenage girls in the nearby area of Brentwood. Last fall, the bodies of 15-year-old Nisa Mickens and 16-year-old Kayla Cuevas were found beaten to death. The crime also led police to discover the skeletal remains of 3 teenage boys in a wooded area in Brentwood. Police believe they were also killed by MS-13 gang members. Now, the recent crimes we just mentioned really shocked this area of Suffolk County, resulting in the police stepping up their gang crime fighting efforts with extra patrols and things like that. But again, this most recent incident happening not long after those other 2 we mentioned. It's unclear exactly how these bodies got to this crime scene, and police here are still investigating this morning. We're live in central Islip. Greg and Rosanna, back over to you.
The cold-blooded gang murders in April 2017 made central Islip synonymous with MS-13. 4 young men killed in a bloodbath in a park near a ball field. Their deaths shone a national spotlight on Long Island gang violence, drawing the attention of former President Donald Trump and former U.S. Attorney Jeff Sessions. Now, 5 years later, the trial begins for one Leniez Escobar, nicknamed Little Devil, accused of luring the victims to a community park allegedly to smoke marijuana. Instead, Justin Livacura, Michael Lopez, Jorge Tigra, Jefferson Villalobos were slashed and hacked to death by more than a dozen MS-13 members, some as young as 15 years old. The motive? The victims had disrespected the notorious gang on social media. Families of the murdered young men were in court and wept at the gruesome details. They said they loved and deeply missed their sons.
So, okay.
Are you thinking of him every day?
Yeah, I'm thinking every day.
Among the first to testify, Alexander, the only victim to escape the carnage. The full moon was beautiful that night. We were smoking marijuana.
Ms. Escobar maintains her innocence. She's pled not guilty.
Out of nowhere, Alex says he and his friends were suddenly surrounded by MS-13. Everyone down on the ground. So we go down on our knees. Nobody moved. They said we were going to die. They had machetes. I ran and ran. Thank God I was able to escape. This detective was first on the scene to uncover the carnage. The crime took place 7 months after another disturbing high-profile case in nearby Brentwood. Young teens Kayla Cuevas and Nisa Mickens were murdered by MS-13, the accused in custody. This trial is expected to last several weeks. Escobar was 17 at the time of the killings. Prosecutors say her motivation was to improve her standing within the gang, something she denies. Others have pled guilty in this case. From Central Islip, Long Island, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb. We on our way to NYC with it. Long Island to be exact. Central Islip to be more exact. Where we gonna cover some bizarre, wild, gruesome shit. Everybody from Long Island, y'all get in the comment box, run that bitch up. Today, we are gonna be breaking down the misdeeds of a female by the name of Leniez Escobar, or Diablita, or you can call her Little Devil, because that's what the media dubbed her as. And the reason that we're discussing her today is mainly because the government made her the face of a conspiracy case involving 4 murders that occurred in Central Islip back on April 12th of 2007 near a soccer field. Now, back in December of 2019, a U.S. Circuit judge would allege that Escobar knowingly led the unsuspected victims to the prearranged location in Central Islip, where they were murdered with machetes, knives, and tree limbs. The judge would go on to say that Escobar, who was 17 at the time, was suspected of instigating the murders along with another juvenile female, stating that the females located photographs of some of the victims flashing MS-13 gang signs on social media and then showing those same photographs to MS-13 gang members. Court documents allege that Escobar was an associate of MS-13 who was essentially trying to carry favor with the gang by luring the young men to the attack. Now, in some instances, they're going to say it was as many as 15 people there for this attack, but according to the testimony of Elmer Ruiz, who happened to be the lone survivor of the attack, he would testify that they came through a hole in the fence, and there were about 8 or 9 of them. They covered their faces with sweaters, and they formed a semicircle. They would go on to order the young men to get down on their knees, saying, "Don't move, whoever moves dies." He would go on to testify that he ran because the first words that the gang said was that they were going to die. So that stuck with him and he took off. Even though he testified it was about 8 or 9 individuals, I seen only 7 was charged, or 6 besides Escobar. And 4 of them are awaiting trial now, and 2 of them were already sentenced to 50 and 55 years in prison, one of them being Jorge Perillo, and he was only 15 years old at the time of the attack, and he would go on to plead guilty to murder, racketeering, and conspiracy in 2019. As you guys may figure, Leniez Escobar's stance is she did not know that the attack was going to occur, and she pretty much happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But they're trying to pin her or position her almost as the mastermind and the head of this crime, even though she wasn't down with the gang. Well, unfortunately for her and the other 6 defendants, this case is coming on the heels of several high-profile gang, and not only gang, MS-13 cases that they had in this particular section of New York, which is Long Island, which I don't know what y'all niggas did to Long Island, but at one point in time, that shit was moving on up to the east side when I lived in New York. Y'all niggas done turned that shit to Brownsville. But this case is on the heels of a case where 2 young women were killed, and there was also a similar attack to this that was also supposedly carried out by MS-13. Now, while Donald Trump was in office, he spoke on this, making the case bigger, and now we have it 5 years later. It's finally coming to trial. But I really wanted to bring this to y'all to see what y'all think. If I was her, I probably would have copped out, because with the 2 people already pleading guilty, probably all of the information that they have, because supposedly she lured the people there through Snapchat. So for y'all, that think that shit on the internet disappear when you delete it. This is another case to show y'all that that's not the case. But y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Y'all hit the red subscribe right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. And y'all definitely get in the comment box below. Let me know what cities we haven't been to, what gangsters we missed, what stories y'all want to hear about. And y'all already know what it is with me. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb, mobb, mobb.